How does it end? Author Orpheus to read for minutes published 9.01. 2022 updated 9.01. 2022 Thanks to the series with an exciting plot, the life of the viewer becomes richer and more interesting. After all, to experience with the main characters of all sorts of adventures, find ways out of difficult situations and escape from disasters, it means to make your own story filled with events, albeit imaginary. The series, The Witcher, has become one of the most iconic films, which from the very first frames literally mesmerize, not allowing you to distract yourself for a minute from what is happening on the screen. The first season of the series laid the foundation for the continuation, which is no less fascinating. What will be discussed in the first season of The Witcher serials from Netflix are designed to make the life of viewers brighter. And the movie, The Witcher, was no exception to the rules. And indeed, the picture became popular, because the action in it is filled with amazing magnetism, the events develop as dynamically as possible, and the main characters pleasantly surprise with a professional and felt game. The shooting of the movie is made in accordance with the requirements of the genre, but some viewers are not too clear about the chronology of the events described. In the picture, some episodes change places, so you should first understand the sequence of events. Where it all began, the first scenes tell about the early period of Jennifer's youth, who grew up a lonely and battered child. She is sold for only 4 marks, and the girl is sent with the powerful sorceress Tessaya de Vries to study at the Arethusa Academy. The first episode of the series follows the life of the still unknown and unwanted Geralt, who is under the prejudice of the Witcher. Many considered witches ordinary and easy to sell for the appropriate reward, mercenaries who are ready to take on any case. But in practice it is not so. On the shoulders of witches falls a heavy burden of responsibility, because they are the ones who choose where the lesser and greater evil. Their goal is to destroy the greater evil, people and sentient beings they do not destroy, unless they are the first to attack and pose a threat. At the inn, Geralt meets Buttercup, who at the time was an unknown bard. They are taken prisoner by the deposed Elven king and his accomplice. Yennefer accompanies a young Lyrian queen who is traveling with her newborn daughter. At the same time, Buttercup and Geralt damage an ancient amphora from which the djinn escapes, harming Buttercup. Geralt seeks help and finds it from a sorcerer, who turns out to be Jennifer. The significance of the destination forces Geralt to return to Sintra. The fighting unfolds, against the backdrop of which the girl Ciri, who has magical powers, finds herself in a refugee camp. Leaving the camp, Ciri stays with the Dryads, but soon also leaves them. On the way, the girl is attacked by a gang of egregious villains, and it is now that Ciri unleashes the magical power she has and about which the girl did not suspect. The Witcher Season 1 finale. Geralt goes in search of the missing Ciri, whose traces are lost in the unknown. First he arrives at the refugee camp. But around reigns absolute emptiness, the camp seems abandoned and not inhabited by anyone. There are only corpses and blood-soaked ground. Just at the same time, all members of the Brotherhood gather and hold a council. The council results in a meeting of the most powerful spellcasters, who together and under the leadership of Jennifer set off on a journey to Sodden. Here they will have to fight the most important battle that will determine the outcome of the general war, the battle with Nilfgaard. In the final frame there is a long-awaited meeting of Geralt with the lost Ciri. And although the viewer sees a quite predictable happy ending of the first season, still implies the continuation of the picture. And indeed, the second season of the series, The Witcher, became a logical continuation of the fascinating adventures of the main characters. And traveling on his faithful horse, plot for which Doctor and Warlock Geralt will continue to destroy the evil plans of enemies, destroy dangerous monsters and mutants.